Pine Labs then, and we already have the management which is ready. Mr. Sameer Kamath, CFO at Pine Labs, is now joining us. Mr. Kamath, morning. Thank you so much for taking your time out and joining us here on ET Now. You recently won several multi-year orders from several corporates globally, and apart from that, you've also tied up with OpenAI. If you can take us through the developments that have taken place over the last few days, and what does this mean for your corporate strategy? Has there been a shift from traditional payments to now you're probably getting into AI and collaborating it with your existing business model?
Good morning, and thanks for having me on the show. Pine Labs has always been a pioneer in the payment space, and we think of payments as an ecosystem play between what we can do deeply for merchants, brands, and institutions using our deep use case and tech capabilities. And I think we have built a very strong moat across the ecosystem, where today the top 5 banks in the country, top 5 merchants in the country, top 5 e-commerce companies rely on Pine Labs. And that's testimony to what we've been doing on the tech side. The way we think of our business is how can we use deep tech to make a valid difference to each of our merchants. Now, if you look at these two opportunities that have just you mentioned earlier, look at OpenAI tie-up, for example. Today, if you see, commerce has largely been deterministic, which is basically saying I enter a transaction, it is yes, no, it's predictable, it's deterministic, and it's an outcome which is generated. Now, imagine a situation where the conversation or the transaction is behavioral, it is more realistic, it's more conversation-led. And I think that's what we're trying to drive as a next level of commerce for some of the merchants. The tab with OpenAI is actually a great one because it helps us foray into the agentic space, something that we've always been doing, keep pioneering new initiatives to drive the ecosystem growth. And the OpenAI tie-up helps us work on 2-3 use cases. The first use case is actually having all our merchants' inventory right on the OpenAI platform. So tomorrow when you're buying a product, it's not just about querying about a product, but actually the LLM models interact with you, select what you want, give you choice. And the best part is you can conclude the transaction on the LLM device itself. And I think that's something new we bring to the market. We also bring a lot of use cases around making smart bill payments. We are also working on a lot of use cases around how we can use data and embedded insights to provide better lending credit assessments for some of the ecosystem partners. I think these are some of the opportunities we're working on the OpenAI side. It's early days. We are very excited about what opportunities unfold for us. And as Pine Labs, we've always been pioneering in driving the next level of tech, not just in markets in India, but globally. And this tie-up kind of, helps us expand that prowess into not just in India markets, but globally as well.
Kamath, since you have collaborated with OpenAI for this particular expansion, do you also intend to expand into the overseas market with this collaboration with OpenAI?
Absolutely. I think today almost about 20% of our business comes from international markets, where we have tie-ups with some of the largest brands and largest banks across multiple locations like Malaysia, Australia, Southeast Asia, UAE. And what we do is we take some of the large usable use cases from India and transport that globally. And we have found significant wins in those markets. So India is a large, complex market. If you've been able to win in these markets, it's easier for us to transport. Definitely in the future, all of these opportunities will find meaningful use cases in the international markets as well, which is a big focus area for us.
That's as far as collaboration with OpenAI is concerned. But Mr. Kamath, recently you've also won several orders from all 3 oil marketing companies, and from the entire space you've won several orders. What is the nature of these orders, and what kind of revenue visibility do you foresee? What kind of incremental revenue could you register on account of these new order wins?
See, basically, we have been actually working with the oil marketing companies for the last 20 years. And we've been building deep ecosystem connects. Today, if you see, we're working with BPCL, HPCL, and IOCL on the entire automation plan for the last 20 years. Today, we are also now present in the payment space, where today with this order, we have access to almost 130,000 devices across almost about 60,000 stores and outlets which are there. And we're also now managing the entire fleet program. So if you think about it, Pine Labs has always thrived on being an ecosystem player by building deep partnerships with our merchants across the whole value chain that they have to offer. So today, if you see, we have done energy automation for them, which helps them manage their dispensation well. We have done payments, which makes it frictionless at the point of sale for every customer. And third, we have done fleet management for them, which makes it easier for their partners for using their services across the entire fleet of around 2 million cards. So today, by this tie-up, Pine Labs has become one of the largest partners for some of these oil marketing companies, and that stands testimony to how we work as an ecosystem partner to many of these cohorts.
And Mr. Kamath, what will the volume and value of these new order wins be, and how will it translate into profitability for you then?
Look, I think it's deepening what we already do. I think we are at about 1.9 million touch points. We have added about 130,000 touch points additionally. So it will only further the growth from here on. And more importantly, it helps us deepen our value-added services. I think a large part of our growth comes from what we do as value-added services. So if you look at our business, we have 4 verticals. The first vertical is where we put touch points, which are across the whole enterprise and large merchants. Those includes even the oil marketing companies. We monetize it through rentals, but the biggest driver of growth for us as a company is also coming from what we do as value-added services, which is basically a vertical which is growing very fast, extremely profitable. And some of these initiatives, especially across oil marketing company, will help us grow the value-added services in addition to the headcount, the outlet count that we are seeing. So we are very excited about this opportunity. I think it gives us a significant footprint into what we do with oil marketing companies and gives us a mainstay there in terms of other things we can deploy for them.
And Mr. Kamath, what is the trend when it comes to take rates? Is that under pressure? And any other new order win that is in the pipeline apart from the 3 orders that you won recently?
I think we are in, I won't be able to give any forward-looking statements, but I think we are in touch with a lot of large international markets is a big focus area for us. We've recently done some large tie-ups. For example, we work with Emirates NBD in UAE. We work with CIMB in Malaysia. We work with GCash in Philippines. These are some of the large tie-ups which help us access to the international market. We find a partner who has local understanding. We come as a strong tech partner, and together we are able to deepen the penetration across the merchant network. It gives us great access to understand the markets there and then build from there on. So I think a lot of these strategic tie-ups is a part of how we build our business to access each geography. And that's how we've been actually growing our international business, having built a strong moat in India and winning at scale in India.
All right. Mr. Kamath, thank you so much for taking your time out and joining us here on ET Now and helping us understand what the outlook is for the company going forward. But